Hey guys, Thogden here, welcome back to a new video. Now today, we're into the January transfer window in the Premier League where some Premier League teams may make decisions that they regret a few months later. It's the January transfer window. It's a weird one, isn't it, Dad?
It really is, and we're making a video all about it. I'd like 10,000 likes. You seem a bit shocked there.
Yeah, because we were just talking about the first sentence of the day and you just said 10,000 likes.
Yeah.
Like we're going to hit that.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
TDL, come on.
Well, after all that, we're going to get straight into it. We're going to go through every single Premier League club and picking one player they should sign in January, alphabetical order, starting with Arsenal.
Now, Arsenal's problem is they need a creative midfielder. They need someone who can run from deep and play the killer pass for Lacazette and Aubameyang. And one guy who's an obvious choice, Houssem Aouar, the 22-year-old attacking midfielder from Lyon. Do you agree, Theo?
I agree with what you said, but I've gone for somebody else.
Right.
I think Houssem Aouar is exactly what they need.
Yeah.
A creative midfielder is key. They've started to improve with the youth. Emile Smith-Rowe and Saka have been doing that job really well, and Martinelli too. One man I think they should go for, and add a bit of extra strength to their wing and creativity, as you know, Emi Buendia from Norwich, currently in the Championship, smashing it for them. Last year he was in the Premier League. Nobody signed him just yet. He's still at Norwich. But I tell you, someone will pick him up, and if Arsenal don't, they're going to regret it. He could be such a good player for them. He's creative, good on the ball, fast, a dribbler, Argentinian, and he's still young.
I agree that he's a very good shout, and he was very good for Norwich last season, but is he Arsenal quality?
Definitely.
I think Aouar, you have to pay about 50 million for him, but this season he's doing really well in the French league. 3 goals, 3 assists, and I think he's quality.
But Emi Buendia has done it in the Premier League. Houssem Aouar has done it in the Farmers League. So you can trust in him, and it's not a big deal that has to be made. He's going from Norwich to Arsenal. It's not like he's having to move nation like Aouar. And it's more realistic. I think that could be done in January, and it would definitely bolster out their forward line, you know?
And now for Aston Villa, who've had a brilliant season, so this is a difficult one. But Aston Villa, I think, should be looking to get into Europe, Theo. So what they should be looking to do is strengthen their bench. And the player who could do that is Rico Henry. Now, he's a left-back at Brentford. And you've got Matt Targett in that position at the moment. And I think having that guy there would make Targett play better and could come on for those European games next year.
Interesting, but I've gone for something different. I agree they need to add squad depth to their bench. I looked at the last few games, and they've only got one forward on the bench, and that's Keenan Davis. No other wingers, no other attacking midfielders, and since Ross Barkley's come injured, there's a clear lack of squad depth going forward as well, and that's where I think they should be looking into. Because let's scenario plan. What if Jack Grealish was to get injured for a few months tomorrow? Like, I know it'd be very unlucky, and it would be very inconvenient for them, because simply they don't have anyone on that level to back up and put in a shift. They would be screwed. One man that they could sign to add extra squad depth to their wing, second striker, just the whole forward line, it's Milo Rashica, a man they were linked with in the summer, a Kosovan attacking midfielder who currently plays for Werder Bremen. He's a serious threat, and I think he would be dangerous in the Premier League, and I'd like to see him at Villa. He would be a good backup and squad rotation, but not even a backup, you get in the team. He's a really good player.
Brighton and Hove Albion now, and this season is all about survival, isn't it, Theo? Now, think about Brighton. They've got some good players up front, like Trossard, Welbeck and Maupai, but I want to strengthen that attacking midfield area, and I've gone for a player called Michael Olise, who's a 17-year-old at Reading. Now, he's absolutely shooting the lights out in the Championship. 4 goals and 8 assists this season, and I want to bring him over to Brighton, and the release clause is only 8 million quid there.
Decent. He seems like a serious talent, and he will be in the Premier League very soon. But I've gone for something different because he's more of a creator. I've gone for more of a goal scorer. I think the problem with Brighton this year is they don't have a goal scorer. Maupai scored a few pens, missed a few, lost it in the head a few times. Danny Welbeck can't finish his dinner at times, and the same goes for Connolly. I think they need to buy a goal scorer, and the man they need to get before someone else does it is the Brentford striker, Ivan Toney.
Ooh.
It's very simple. He's got 16 goals and 4 assists in 22 games this season. One of the best formed players in all the English leagues. He will be a Premier League player next year, whether it's Brentford going up. If they can buy him this January, I'm telling you, Brighton will simply score more goals. He's a serious threat, and he's bound to go to the Premier League. And if it's not Brentford, someone else will buy him. Brighton, get there first.
Wow, now he's a cracking player, but will he leave Brentford at this point in time?
Money talks.
And now for Burnley and Sean Dyche. He's pulling out miracles again, isn't he, Theo?
Yeah.
But one thing Burnley lack is goals. Now, there is a Norwegian international out there. He used to be at Man United. He's got bags of experience. His contract is ending. He's at Bournemouth. Josh King. Bring him in.
Yeah, decent shout. It would add some pace to their forward line. I think that's a very good call. I've actually picked another position that Burnley feel like they need to strengthen in, and that's right back. And there's a lad at Blackburn Rovers called Ryan Nyambe. I think he's from Namibia, and he's just smashing it this season, Dad. He's got quite a few assists. He's been one of the best right backs in the Championship. He's bound to go to the Premier League soon, and Burnley is a deal that makes sense. It's not too far. It could be done in January. It would completely strengthen that right back position, and he's ready for the Premier League.
Wow, but the fans will hate him if he comes across Lancashire.
It's true. But Burnley will get the player from him, so they'll get the better side of the deal.
Chelsea now, and they bought a new goalkeeper. They spent tons of money in defence, attacking midfield, but one area they've not spent is central midfield. Now, I hate to say this, it's like sacrilege, but N'Golo Kante is not getting any younger. Now, I think you should bring someone in from West Ham, Declan Rice, and West Ham fans are throwing things at the screen, and I'll tell you why. This lad is a good player. He's not a great player yet, but 2 years alongside N'Golo Kante and he could be a brilliant footballer.
Dad, for the first time in this video, we completely agree. Declan Rice. The thing is about Chelsea, they're realistically not going to make a big Chelsea January transfer window after the window they just had. But their next big transfer should be this guy, because Declan Rice, he's wanted to move to Chelsea. He was a Chelsea fan growing up. Wasn't he in the Chelsea Academy? I think he was as well, before West Ham. And it's something that, it's a deal that makes sense. Him and Kante would be an insane duo of holding mids, and they're definitely not going to concede many with that. He's a great player, he's getting better, loads of potential. West Ham fans rave about him, but it's whether West Ham will let him go. I'm not too sure right now. They're doing pretty well.
Crystal Palace. Now, I think there's a couple of problems at Palace, and one of them is the over-reliance on Wilfried Zaha.
Yeah.
And the other one is the fact that most of the squad is fairly old. Now, with the exceptions of probably Nathan Ferguson and Eze, there's a lot of old bodies.
Yeah.
So killing two birds with one stone, Bright Samuel, bring him in from QPR. Now, he's been a replacement for Eze, hasn't he, at QPR this season? 3 goals, 3 assists. He's a decent player.
They played well together.
Yes.
That was the whole point.
Yes.
Jose Samuel and Eze were both linked to Palace before, and only Eze made the move, and he had the better stats at the 2 last year, but Jose Samuel this year in the Championship has been smashing it. Overall, QPR, they're not going to go up, and Jose Samuel will be in the Prem next year, whatever happens. He's a really good winger. Why not get the deal done in January, you know?
Absolutely, Theo. You agree with me?
I do, and the main reason, unlike your reasons, the main reason I think Palace should act quickly now is because Jeffrey Schlupp, just today, the news came out that he's injured for 3 months. 3 months.
Wow.
Losing Jeffrey Schlupp, a winger that Palace has done so well with over the last few games. They need to bring in a winger, and quick. Jose Samuel, get the deal done. He linked up so well with Eze last year. Bring him in. Also, Samuel has just rejected a deal at QPR. The time is right, Crystal Palace. Everton now, and they've spent very well in recent months. But I want you to imagine this triangle at the front of Everton, Theo. Dominic Calvert-Lewin at the front. On the left wing, Richarlison. In the middle, James Rodriguez. And on the right wing, Ismail Assar from Watford, Would be pretty good. Why do you want that to happen?
I want that to happen. Now, Ismail Assar is having a really good Championship. We saw last season he can cope in the Premier League. You saw it against Liverpool, scoring a hat-trick, didn't you? He
was pretty special, but apart from that, I think the problem with him is inconsistency. I think on his day he can be absolutely unbelievable. But I've gone for someone else that Everton have been highly linked with this January. Don't know if the deal's going to happen, but it's the Ancelotti effect. Sami Khedira, the man from Juventus, his contract is coming up. They can sign him on a free. I think that would add some serious experience to their midfield, and it's a signing they would love to make because Haaland seems to be out a lot of the time, and to bring him in, I mean, the Toffees could be such a good side.
That would be incredible, but is it realistic, Theo?
I think it is. I think Ancelotti is generally... I don't think the realistic side is the problem. I think it's the wage. He's on like 105k a week. It's not easy for him. But like I said, Ancelotti knows he can bring him in. And if he does, Everton will be a top side.
Fulham now, and apologies to Reading because I'm taking your striker, Lucas João. Now this season he's been incredible. 17 games, 13 goals, 4 assists. He's fast, he's strong, he knows where the net is. And Mitrovic, it's not happening, is it, this season at Fulham?
It's not. I think the tactics they're going for and what's been clicking recently isn't suiting a big target man up top. I think they need a quicker, more clinical finisher. You know, someone who will run onto the end of things, and they don't have that at the moment. And you've clearly picked a striker that could do that. But will Lucas João seriously leave Reading to go this January? I'm not sure if I can see it happening. But one deal I can see happening is Siriki Dembele at Peterborough. Now, he's got 10 contributions in 17 games, and I know it's League One, but he's just handed in a transfer request, and Fulham are linked with him, and the same as Rangers as well, and Watford. And I think I think Fulham should get the deal over the line because they need a fast, clinical striker. He's been producing the goods. Bring him in. It's exactly what you could do. And I think with the competition around him, he could be the perfect striker for the Fulham system they've got going on right now.
Very good shout, Theo. And we both agree, bring in a striker. Yeah. Leeds United now, and they've been wonderful to watch this season, and they're staying up all day long. Yeah. And one of the reasons they're doing so well is Patrick Bamford. But in recent weeks, I think he's slipping a bit. And I don't think he can deliver for 38 weeks. So I want to bring in another striker. And you know what? I'm looking up north. I'm going over to Rangers. Sorry, Rangers fans. Alfredo Morelos. 24 years old, Colombian international, an absolute bagsman. I think he'd fit in with Bielsa at Leeds United.
Thog that I can hear a bell. It's the mug alert. You've asked for a striker with Leeds, Dad. Yeah. Their problem is their defence. You're a mug. They should bring in the lad from Chelsea, who isn't getting any game time, but has Prem experience from a couple of years ago, Fikayo Tomori. That's who they need. A fast and strong centre-back who's been and played a season in the Premier League. He's not getting any time under Lampard this season. It's realistic. It's in the Premier League bubble. I reckon that deal could happen in January. Alfredo Morelos is unrealistic. He's going to stay at Morelos till the end of the season for the title win run. And also, let's be honest, Dad, they don't need another striker. They don't need enough forward. They need to bolster out their defence. That's the problem with Leeds.
Well, I'd say bring them both in. I mean, Leeds don't bother about defending. They just score lots of goals. And Bamford has not been finishing his dinner in recent weeks there.
You're a mug, Thog, Dad. Bring in a centre-back. Fikayo Tomori's the one.
Leicester City now, and they're having a brilliant season, and one reason for that, as usual, is Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
But he's 34 this month, so you need to bring in a replacement, and that replacement is Luka Jovic.
Well, you pronounce it Luka Jovic, but the player is correct, Thog, Dad. He's a lad that smashed it at Frankfurt, had interest from all the big clubs around the world, signed for Real Madrid, and it hasn't really worked out. Jovic deserves a move to the Premier League. He's a fast striker, but he's got a bit of weight about him. I think he'd fit the Prem. He's younger. He'd learn so much from Jamie Vardy as well. He's one of the best strikers in the world, Jamie. Vardy, like you said, 34. He's not going to play every single game till the end of the season, and he might have a little injury here and there. Iheanacho's just a bit average. Luka Jovic is the man. I agree with you, Thogdad.
And Jovic is 23 years old. He's already a Serbian international. He's banging them in for his country.
Yeah.
But Real Madrid are not seem to play him, are they?
Exactly. But I wouldn't be surprised if Wolves come knocking for him as well. So maybe a little bidding war there. Who knows?
Liverpool now, and yesterday we saw them lose to Southampton, and one of the reasons was they've got midfielders in centre-back positions, Fabinho and Henderson. That's a sticking plaster. It's pretty obvious you need a new centre-back, and the man is Connor Cody. He's a scouser, he's a leader, he'll fit straight into the dressing room, Theo.
He would do, but will Wolves let him go? He's the captain and the leader and the legend of Wolves. You know what I mean? I know Jota made the move.
Yeah.
But realistically, could Connor Cody go this January? Would it actually happen?
Well, if they spend the money, it will happen.
I'm going for a more realistic option. David Alaba handed in his transfer request at Bayern Munich. I know he's really tempted by a move by Real Madrid, but how about do a Thiago-esque move and go to Liverpool? Now, that would be, you know, a new goal for him. I seriously think that David Alaba is the perfect centre-back to partner up with Van Dijk when he's back. And that is so much world-class quality there. We've seen how good Alaba was in that Champions League run-in last year at Bayern Munich when they won it. And I think he'd smash it at Liverpool. And he's available. Pay whatever there is to be paid and get there before Real Madrid, because that would be such a good move for Liverpool.
Manchester City now, and the problem is you don't have a replacement for Sergio Aguero, who's been brilliant for a decade. Man City, you're not short of a few quid. Splash the cash. Buy Erling Haaland. Buy him now.
You reckon?
Yes. 100 million, whatever it costs.
Haaland in January. That's more of a summer signing. And Man City have come out on social media, basically said from sources within Man City that they're not going to make any big January transfers. Haaland won't happen in January. It could happen in the summer, but they're focused this January just to get some of their elite players on their team on new contracts, for example, Kevin De Bruyne. So if that happens, don't be surprised. I can't see City making any big signings, and if they do, it'll be one small one. Haaland would be the dream, and I've gone for the same as you, but they're not going to sign anyone, so it's pretty pointless what we're saying. But Haaland in the summer, who knows? They need a big striker, it would be insane.
Manchester United now, all I can say is get over to Leipzig in Germany and buy Upamecano as a partner for Harry Maguire. Simples.
I completely agree with you, Thogdad. They've got Eric Bailly, and Bailly and Maguire have been doing well recently, but the problem with Bailly is he's too injury prone. You can't rely on him for a whole Premier League season, and Man United fans, it is a shame because he is good when he plays and he's hilarious. He always does something stupid in the game, and I love watching him. But Upamecano is a seriously quality centre-back. He's fast, He's powerful. He reads the game well. He did really well in that Champions League run with Leipzig. And I think he'd be good in the Prem. If Man United got that over the line, so many clubs would be salty with it because everybody wants him. Liverpool should be in for him as well. But if Man United do end up getting that done, it would be insane. And I agree with you on that.
Wow, he's wonderful. He's 22 years old. We've seen him play in the flesh. And Man United, Glazers, spend some money and look to the future. Newcastle now and the fans are saying we don't just need one player, we need a whole new team. But I'll tell you what, start with Jetro Williams from Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, he was on loan last season.
Yeah.
And he's an attacking left back. He can also play left midfield or central midfield. A versatile player who succeeded in the Premier League. Bring him back.
You reckon?
Yes.
I've gone for a position that I think Newcastle really need. And it's a man that played against them recently and smashed them. I'm talking about Josh Da Silva at Brentford.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't sign this summer for a Prem team, he will in the summer. Next year, he will be a Premier League footballer because he's that good. He's a really good midfielder, drives with the ball, powerful. And when they played against him in the Cup, Brentford won 1-0 with a sort of second team. Newcastle played their strongest lineup, and Brentford won 1-0. Josh Da Silva got the goal, and he has something that Newcastle lack, and that's a creative midfielder, someone who could drive with the ball. And if Newcastle were to get that over the line in January, they would seriously improve as a side. But I'm not sure if Brentford would accept it.
Sheffield United now, and I've got a smile on my face because you're just going to laugh at me and mock me. Okay, Sheffield United are going to go down, yes, Theo?
Yes, yeah.
So they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So all they have to do is bring someone in as a loan signing from the Premier League.
Right, yeah.
And I'm saying, go down the road to Manchester and bring in Jesse Lingard.
I agree. I've gone for him as well,
No, you haven't.
I have.
You haven't.
I have. Jesse Lingard.
Oh my God.
And the reason I've said him is because he's available. He's not playing at Man United. And let's not forget what Jesse Lingard can do. Now, I know he's been memes, people take the piss, Man United fans hated on him when he was in the lineups and stuff like that. Let's not forget the important goals he got for United. The winning games he got, for England in the World Cup. Man United, like away at Arsenal, when he got that goal. He can score big goals in big games. He will bring something to that Sheffield United team that they don't have. Creativity, a good finish. A big game player. People hate on this guy, but he will improve that side.
Absolutely, Theo. 3 years ago, we were raving about Jesse Lingard, weren't we? He was an England hero. Take him to Bramall Lane now. Give him some game time.
I even FaceTimed him in Russia. Sorted out some tickets. Would be nice to see him get his career back on track, Get some game time in the Prem.
Southampton now, and they're having a brilliant season. So all I'm saying here is strengthen the squad. Brandon Williams, left back from Man United. He's not going to get a lot of game time for United because of Tellez and Luke Shaw. Take him to the Dell.
Yeah, of all the teams in the Premier League, Southampton don't badly need like a signing. And Bertrand's done alright, but obviously there is potential improvements there. So I've gone for a left back called Jordan Amavi from Marseille. He's 26 years old. He's been quality for Marseille this year. He would be dying for a move to Southampton because top flight Premier League team, smashing it this year. Next year you'll be in Europe. So I could see that move happening because it is a big improvement. And he was at Villa. He did alright. And I think it's time for him to come back to the Prem. And that would be an improvement on Bertrand at left back.
Tottenham Hotspur now, and you need a quality box-to-box midfielder. You need someone who can help Ndembele to create. You need someone who can help Højbjerg to defend. I'm going for Marcel Sabitzer at Leipzig. Get him there now.
And simply, I agree, Thogdad. He's a really good midfielder, strong on the ball. He's a creator. He can drive through that midfield. He's similar to Ndombele in some ways, but he can also shift into a more attacking role on the wing as well. I've seen him play live for RB Leipzig, and so have you. We went to watch RB Leipzig versus Zenit last year in the Champions League. He scored a worldie. He's a big game player. He loves to score good goals, and he would be tempted by a move to the Prem, wouldn't he?
I think he would, and also his contract ends in June 2022, so you might get a good deal, Daniel Levy.
Get the deal done. And they need something else apart from Son and Kane. They need another big player that can really shine outside of them two, don't they?
They certainly do. West Bromwich Albion now, and this is another club who I feel are gonna go down. So who can they take there? And I'm thinking loan signings. I'm thinking a player down the road at Leicester City, Hamza Chowdhury.
I can understand why that'd be a good signing, because they need a midfielder who can put in a bloody tackle.
Yes, exactly, Theo.
I've gone for someone else who they'll probably make more than one signing anyway. Another suggestion for West Brom. Seg Tossen, a lad that Big Sam brought in at Everton. He smashed it there, he was doing well, he's actually playing alright. Then Big Sam got the sack, and he kind of got to a position where the new manager didn't really want to target man, and Seg Tossen never really hit that same form again. Well, I'll tell you what, it's all in the Premier League bubble. We won't have to worry about Brexit and other stuff going on right now, COVID for example. To hold back this deal, bring in your target man from Everton. He doesn't even get game time there anymore. At West Brom, bring him in. Seg Tossen, I can see him doing all right.
West Ham United now, and you've got a brilliant striker in Mikhail Antonio, but he's injured all the time.
He is.
Sebastian Haller, I'm sorry, he's not finishing his dinner at the moment. So what I say, get up to Celtic. I'm sorry, I wanna be Edouard.
He's going for it.
Bring
That's a
him
big
down.
statement. I tell you what, there will be, soon enough, he will be at a top 5 club, like a top 5 league club. And whether that's the Premier League or in the French League, I don't know. But Edouard is a serious talent. I've gone for another striker that they could get. Originally at Arsenal in the academy, went to PSV, smashed it. Donny Malen offers pace, clinical finish, and a good bit of dribbling and a bit of good hold-up play too that he's offered at PSV. I think he'd be a good backup at West Ham. Probably available. Wants the cheeky move to the Prem under David Moyes. Who knows? Bring him in.
Absolutely. Edouard is smashing it in the Scottish Premier League. 7 goals and 4 assists. And last season he proved he can do it on the European stage. So that's a quality player.
Exactly. There's 2 different striker options for you West Ham fans. Tell us in the comments who you rather want.
And Wolverhampton Wanderers, at the start of the season, you had Raul Jimenez sadly injured, and Diogo Jota, you sold to Liverpool. And I'm sorry, the young lad is not good enough. But there's a lad out there 2 years ago, cost 54 million quid. He's a free agent. Who is it there?
Diego Costa, for God's sake. He smashed it at Chelsea in the Premier League, and he could make a return to the EPL at Wolves, similar to Jimenez. He's a big lad. He just does well in the top English league, doesn't he?
He's a winner. He's a leader. He'll fit in the dressing room. He loves the Premier League. Bring him in.
And the other wingers around him, the likes of Neto, who turned up, Podence this season, Adama Traore, they would die for a target man like Diego Costa up there at the top of the Wolves pitch. I mean, they would seriously... They wouldn't have a problem with scoring anymore, that's for sure. Diego Costa's a beast. Bring him back to the Prem. I'm sure Leicester might be tempted as well. Who knows? But I think Wolves should get that contract because they need it more than ever. And that's the end of the video. Comment down below which players your club should sign. We're just 2 random English geezers. You probably know better than us about your Premier League club. Tell us who you want to sign in January. But how are we going to hit 10k likes, Dad?
All day long. The TDL is strong.
It just doesn't work like that.
And I tell you what, subscribe to my channel.
Yes,
Dad.
We will be posting all our stream highlights in the future on the Thog Dad channel. First link in the description. Get that done. Go over there to see our stream highlights. It's basically a shortened version. Get it in there. Subscribe to this channel as well. We just hit 450k. Let's get 500k. Every subscriber counts. And on that note, good luck in your January transfer window. Big up the TDL. We'll see you all very soon.
See ya.
Bye, guys.